I'm about to tell you the most horrific story, and honestly, although I don't subscribe to this I choose the bear movement that was started by a lot of women on social media, I'm still wondering, how could you not choose the bear after hearing this? It's absolutely horrifying, horrible, and unbelievable that a woman can make the mistake of marrying the weapon fashioned against her and have her life taken away in the most gruesome way by the person she trusted the most. That's what happened to a Switzerland beauty queen called Kristina Joksimovic. I hope I got her name right. She won the Miss Northwest Switzerland pageant in 2003 and was a finalist at the 2007 National Miss Switzerland competition. Now her husband, whose name is being hidden because of Swiss privacy laws and is now being referred to as Thomas, has been charged with the crime of unaliving her. And the manner in which he did it is what is turning the stomachs of everybody online. Kristina Joksimovic was not just a model and beauty queen, but was also a catwalk coach. That's the business she ran. She was 38 years old and her husband, who took her life, is 41. These two people got married in 2017 and they both have 2 children. Now, according to the information I gathered during my research for this video, the friends of Kristina reported that she and her husband were having some problems in their marriage and she was planning to leave the man. But obviously she did not succeed in doing that because her husband took her life first. Her body was found in her home in Basel, Switzerland, and when an autopsy was carried out on her, the first, now take note, I said the first cause of death was found to be strangulation, which means that other things followed. Her husband claimed that he unalived his wife in self-defense, claiming that she had tried to attack him first with a knife after they just had a quote-unquote positive conversation. But you get to decide if what he did next to her deceased body was also in self-defense. After taking his wife's life, right in the laundry room of their house, Kristina's husband opened up his wife's torso and removed her womb. After Kristina's husband removed her womb, he chopped some parts of her into pieces with a jigsaw power tool, knife, and garden shears. And after he had done this, he decided that it would be nice to turn his wife into puree, like tomato paste, that kind of paste. So what did he do? He put the chopped up pieces of his wife into a blender and grinded her into paste. And he did not even stop there.
In a world where you can fear anyone, fear men. Why do men? Why do men? Why do men? Men do why? Why? Just when I think it can't get any worse, when I think to myself, surely we have reached the cap. We are at the top. We are at the top of it. Something happens that just chucks us over the edge. A former model who was a finalist in the Miss Switzerland contest, was allegedly murdered and pureed. In a blender by her husband. Pureed in a blender by her husband. I choose the bear every single time. Every single time. I would rather roll in peanut butter and run into the deepest, darkest parts of the forest and be chased by bears than spend time in a forest with a man. I choose the bear. So they do an autopsy report, okay? And the ruling found that the body was dismembered in a laundry room with a jigsaw, knife, and gardening shears. In addition, body parts were then chopped up with a hand blender. Are you batshit? Are you insane? What? Help! Send literal help.
So after Kristina's husband blended some parts of her body, he dissolved them in chemical. And I just have one question. Why? This woman lived with this man for 7 years and had 2 daughters for him. And yet he could still do this to her. And according to reports, the autopsy also revealed that her body showed signs of blunt force. She had cuts to her face, legs, and the back of her head. And some of her hair was ripped out, and before he dismembered her, He broke her hip joints and removed her arms and legs from their sockets. I'm even tired of telling the story. I mean, how do you tell this kind of story? Imagining it alone can make you throw up. Was this all self-defense? So all of this was self-defense, Abi? Anyway, let's continue. The investigators of the crime said that Thomas, remember, this is not his real name, but they said that he showed a conspicuously high level of criminal energy and also showed sadistic sociopathic traits and a lack of empathy and cold-bloodedness after unaliving his wife. Talk about Jeffrey Dahmer II.
I saw this news on TikTok of former Miss Switzerland strangled to death by her husband. He didn't know how to discard the body, then he pureed her in a blender. Listen, he pureed her in a blender like pastes, like tomato pastes. Just when you thought, oh, some Jeffrey Dahmer is out there on the loose, this is ridiculous, this is bizarre. Somebody left this comment in the comment section. Somebody is asking to know what type of blender this man used. How low on sarcasm can one be to leave this kind of comment? And please do not get me started with how many people liked that comment. How many people with the same thought process as him. Unempathetic, unsympathetic. Like, people are mad. Somebody died in the hands of her own husband. Somebody that she trusted. It is not enough that she was strangled. This woman was pureed. And all you can think of is what blender was used in turning her to a sauce. I'm done. I am literally done with the internet. My God.
This is beyond sad. I mean, it is beyond horrible. I struggle to find the right words to describe this perfectly, but it's obvious that this man is not okay, and Kristina must have suffered a great deal before she breathed her last. And I just hope that he's never allowed anywhere near his children again, and is completely kept away from society forever.
Pureed in a blender. Pureed in a blender. Like, why don't women leave? Why don't they leave? Why don't they just leave? 38-year-old former Miss Switzerland finalist Kristina Joksimovic, I hope I'm saying her surname correctly, was unalived by her husband, dismembered, and I hate this. I hate the way that this is a woman we're talking about here, not a f***ing tomato. Was pureed in a blender by her husband. And now it's come out that she had expressed her desire to leave him. I was talking to one of my friends last night who's a feminist, and I was just like, it's always been like this, but at the minute it just feels like a lot. Like, you have the Olympian who has been set on fire by her partner. You've got this woman in France whose husband was inviting men round to her home to do the most horrific things. And now we have this, and it's just like, men are not okay. They're not okay. They're not. Like, I don't really know what else to say. Apart from the entire point of this video being that stop asking women why they don't just leave these men. Stop it. Because this is why they don't leave. Because it's safer to stay sometimes with these people than it is to try and leave and risk being pureed in a blender.
Let me know what you think in the comment section, and hit the like and subscribe buttons to see the next hot topic. Until I come your way again, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.